still driving hard. Jim Rogers is famously bullish on China, having moved his family to Singapore to be closer to the Asian giant. He made his fortune at the Quantum Fund with George Soros, retired at 37, and drove around the world by motorbike and then by car. Journeys he chronicled in best-selling books. We caught up with him on a recent visit to New York. Obviously, you've been bullish on China for a long time. Are you still bullish, as bullish as you've been?
Yes, I'm very optimistic about the future of China. My children speak Mandarin, and there will be setbacks in China. Don't worry, Felicia, there'll be many problems in China. There is probably a real estate bubble in urban coastal real estate in China, but that's not China. Here we had a huge real estate problem which took us down for many reasons because it was very pervasive. That's not China. China has many other things going for it. China's got a huge savings rate. They save and invest 35% of their income. They work from dawn to dusk. They're the largest creditor nation in the world.
They're not always on the up and up. Even I think it was the Chinese vice premier admitted that their economic data was what he called man-made. I mean, so they're manufacturing numbers that they can't count on.
It's like ours. You believe the numbers that come out of the U.S. government? You believe the numbers that come out of any government? Oh, if you believe numbers, I've been waiting for somebody like you. If you believe what people tell you, if you believe any government numbers, they're all made up. How can they possibly know most of the stuff they say? And in the U.S., we're constantly changing the numbers. We're constantly saying, oh, gosh, we were wrong. Look at Mr. Bernanke. Mr. Bernanke's been in Washington for 8 years. Every month, about everything that he's ever said, he's been wrong.
He has most recently talked about inflation, and he is 100% certain that he can contain inflation. Do you think that's true?
If you go to the grocery store, if you go anywhere, you know that prices are going up. Whether it's education or insurance or medical care or groceries, everything is going up in price. The government keeps telling us there's no inflation. Where do they shop? Well, how can they sit and tell us there's no inflation when it's as clear as day that there's inflation everywhere, and it's getting worse, not better?
And oil just reached $90 a barrel. So is that the place to invest right now, commodities?
My main investments are commodities, currencies. I've sold short U.S. government bonds, sold short a few emerging markets. But yes, Felicia, if the world economy gets better, commodities are going to do well because there's shortages developing of everything. Now, throughout history, when governments have printed money, people put their money into real assets, whether it's silver or rice or natural gas. People want to own something that's going to hold its value.
What does this country need to do to solve the unemployment problem?
Whenever you have a long period of excess, eventually, let's say you were drinking for 3 weeks in a row. That's a period of you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have hangovers. You're going to have illnesses. You're going to have problems. We had at least 20 years of excess in America, in the credit markets, the house, in many markets. We've got to pay the price. I don't like saying it, but we cannot just snap our fingers and say, well, everything's okay now. Let's start over.
But does that mean that there really is nothing that Bernanke and company can do? I mean, it just has to ride its course?
They stay out of the way. Let the system work itself out. Let the market clear, to use that expression. Throughout history, when people get in trouble, they go bankrupt. Competent people come in, reorganize, and it starts over. You have a period of pain. There's no question you have a period of pain. But after the pain, things start over from a sounder base. Now, Scandinavia had this problem 20 years ago. Everybody went bankrupt. It was horrible for 3 years, but then they had a 15-year boom. Korea, Chile, lots of people have been through this. They take the pain, they reorganize, and start over. It's not fun. But when you make bad mistakes, somebody has to pay. It's the way the world works.
But should Ireland be allowed to fail? I mean,
yes.
What happens in Spain? What happens in Portugal?
They have failed. Felicia, they have failed. I mean, the debts are staggering. Now, the idea that they're going to bail out Irish banks is outrageous to me as well.
Are you still riding a bike?
Well, you break my heart by asking that. You know, I got 2 little girls, and so I haven't been on a motorcycle in a while. I mean, my little girls are more fun, don't get me wrong, but I do miss it.
In other words, you're being a good daddy.
I hope I'm being a very good daddy. You can ask me in 30 years. You can ask me in 30 years if I was a good daddy or not. Gambe.
Gambe.